One of the coolest things about roller coasters is that they can be built pretty much anywhere. Whether it's on a mountaintop or inside a rock wall, there are plenty of notable coasters built in unique locations. So here are just 10 of these notable rides for your viewing pleasure. Number 10. Cliffhanger at North Carolina's Ghost Town Village, located on top of a mountain. While currently not in operation, this coaster's location alone makes it an impressive work of engineering. The ride was originally built as part of the currently closed Ghost Town Village in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. This Wild West themed amusement park was formerly one of North Carolina's most popular tourist attractions. It was built at over 4,000 feet above sea level, and guests who wished to visit it had to take a chairlift just to get to the park. First opening in 1961, this park offered live music, character actors, and rides for the kids. Eventually, in 1988 though, park officials decided to open a brand new roller coaster to bring in the older thrill seekers. This was one of only a few coasters made by American manufacturer Hopkins. It had a top speed of 50 miles per hour and featured a single vertical loop. Due to its location, its layout would use the mountainous terrain to its advantage, and allow for some rather incredible views of the surrounding mountains. Unfortunately, the park would end up facing years of financial issues, and the coaster itself was made standing but not operating in 2002. Although it was refurbished and eventually reopened as Cliffhanger in 2009, the ride would end up closing the year after it reopened. This was due to issues with the wheels that were found in a test run a day before the 2010 season was supposed to start. The park stated that the coaster would be closed until a new train was purchased, but considering the fact that they recently filed for bankruptcy, they were clearly in no position to operate the attraction. Ghost Town Village would end up closing again in 2016 and was put up for sale the next year. At this point, it's unknown if the ride or the park will ever reopen. Number 9. Thunder Dolphin at Japan's Tokyo Dome City, located in the middle of Tokyo. This is by far one of the most visually impressive coasters ever made by Intamin. Located in the heart of Tokyo, this massive attraction first opened in 2003. The layout not only gives amazing views of the city, but it even manages to pass through a building and even through the Big O, a massive centerless Ferris wheel. The fact that it pretty much sits on the middle of a busy city is simply surreal, and one can only imagine how challenging it must have been to construct. Though you can still ride this coaster today, it was actually once shut down for over 2 years. In 2010, a 9-year-old park guest was injured after being struck in the head by a 10-inch bolt that fell from the ride when it was in motion. This incident was found to be due to a design flaw, and it took over 2 years of suspended operation to get it running again. To prevent any further incidents, netting was installed under the track to catch any falling objects. Thankfully, this netting won't stop you from fully enjoying this stunningly thrilling ride experience. Tokyo is already known for being one of the most amazing cities on Earth, and this coaster just adds to that reputation. Number 8. Iron Rattler at Texas's Six Flags Fiesta Texas, located on and inside a rock quarry wall. Down in San Antonio, Texas is Six Flags Fiesta Texas, a park widely dubbed as one of the best in the Six Flags chain. The park's most defining feature is its location inside a former limestone rock quarry. As a result of its location, a large stone wall surrounds a good portion of the park. Many of the attractions are built on this wall, but only one is bold enough to actually go through it. Originally opening as Rattler in 1992, this coaster was once a wooden coaster constructed by the infamous Roller Coaster Corporation of America, the same manufacturer of the controversial Son of Beast at Kings Island. This massive attraction opened as the tallest and fastest wooden coaster on Earth, with a top height of 179 feet and a top speed of 73 miles per hour. This coaster not only sent riders up and down the quarry wall, but featured a tunnel that actually took guests through it. It's clear that quite a lot of labor was put into not only building this tunnel, but putting the track through it. Over the years though, this coaster became known as a rough ride, and park officials decided to improve the ride experience. They did this by converting the attraction into a steel hybrid coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. Fortunately, even after its conversion, it still retains its impressive tunnel, and it even comes with some incredible lighting effects. This is like something straight out of Planet Coaster. Since its renovation, this once rough coaster has been named one of the best steel coasters on Earth, and with its impressive drops, extreme airtime moments, and incredible rock tunnel, it's no wonder why. Number 7. Wild West Mine Train at Hong Kong's Ocean Park, located on a cliff. This coaster's layout alone may not be that intense, but its astoundingly breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean more than make up for it. This ride can be found at Ocean Park on Hong Kong Island, a seaside amusement park perched above the Pacific Ocean. This park features several attractions and roller coasters, including a multicolored aero custom looper named Dragon and a B&M and floorless coaster named Hair Raiser. Though the entire park overlooks the water, one coaster in particular gives by far the best view. Introducing Wild West Mine Train, a Zamperla coaster that first debuted in 1999. This coaster travels along the edge of the park, giving an incredible view of the surrounding landscape. It has perhaps the most amazing view you can get on a roller coaster, surrounded by residential areas, marinas, and several mountainous islands. As much as the on-ride pictures look like fake clickbait video thumbnails, they are indeed 100% accurate, and this is without a doubt one of the most dreamlike coaster experiences you can have. So if you ever get around to going to Hong Kong, this is a must-do. Number 6. VR roller coaster at China's Space City, located inside a TV tower. The Oriental Pearl Tower is one of the most iconic and memorable structures on Earth. This building is a TV tower that serves as a major tourist destination in Shanghai. It features a revolving restaurant, a glass-bottom skywalk, and even a small amusement park named Space City. The star attraction of this park is a family coaster made by Dutch manufacturer Vekoma. The coaster has a space travel theme and features a wide array of special effects throughout the ride. Passengers will find themselves surrounded by a colorful variety of lights and space scenery as they navigate the course. As of 2016, riders also have the option to ride with virtual reality headsets. Moreover, one thing that makes this ride unique is, unlike most coasters, the first drop is immediately after the station while the lift hill is at the end of the layout. That's something you don't see every day, but then again, so is a roller coaster built inside a giant TV tower. Number 5. Tower of Terror at South Africa's Gold Reef City, located inside an actual mine shaft. This is certainly a creative use for an abandoned mine shaft. Gold Reef City is without a doubt one of the most sought-after amusement parks in all of Africa. The park is located on the site of a gold mine that closed in 1971 and is themed to the South African gold rush of the late 1800s. Among the attractions is a total of 6 roller coasters, which is more than any other African amusement park. Among these coasters is a unique dive coaster reportedly made by defunct manufacturer Jovanola. The ride experience goes as followed. Passengers start off by ascending an elevator lift to the first drop. The lift itself goes straight up an authentic headframe, a mine shaft tower used to excavate materials from underground. Following the lift is a steep 90-degree vertical drop into an actual mine shaft that was once used to dig for gold. The bottom of this drop levels out at such a sharp angle that it exerts more G-forces on the passengers than any other coaster on Earth. It is currently the only operating roller coaster to exert more than 6 Gs on its passengers, and even the most seasoned thrill seekers are bound to black out on it. Though it may not be the smoothest coaster out there, its location and forceful ride experience alone make it a very common bucket list coaster for enthusiasts. Number 4. Little Dipper at Montana's Amusement Park Drive-In, located around a drive-in movie screen. With today's luxury seating and stereo sound systems, drive-in theaters are more of a rare novelty nowadays. However, one particular drive-in decided to go the extra mile and turn it into a small amusement park. Originally opening in 2004, this park currently offers drive-in movies, but at one point it also offered a few rides, including 2 roller coasters. One was an Alan Herschel Wild Mouse named Monster Mouse, and the other was an Alan Herschel Little Dipper. Although the Wild Mouse was much more intense than the Little Dipper, the latter was actually built around the movie screen. Now that's something you don't see every day, and at over 300 miles away from the nearest permanent coaster, these 2 roller coasters were once the most remote operating credits in the country. Unfortunately though, the rides at Amusement Park Drive-In are currently standing but not operating. This is due to a 2015 flood that severely damaged the ride's mechanics. While the drive-in theater is still operational, it's unknown if the rides will ever operate again. Number 3. Half Pipe at Japan's Don Quixote, located on top of a department store. This is by far one of the biggest failures in roller coaster engineering. Built on top of an 8-story department store, this coaster was intended to be a major tourist draw and was originally set to open in 2005. This ride is an intimate half-pipe coaster, which is a launch shuttle coaster that features 2 spinning groups of seats. While it seemed like an exciting idea on paper, the whole concept went to hell in a handbasket once officials started testing the ride. According to Intamin, while the building could handle the weight of the coaster, the lateral forces exerted from the ride caused the building to sway, which could have potentially led to severe structural damage. So at that point, store officials decided to cut their losses and not open the ride. To this day, the coaster is still on top of that building, and it's unknown if it will ever be scrapped or sold. Number 2. high roller at Nevada's Stratosphere, located on top of an 1,100-foot tall hotel and casino. The Stratosphere Resort is by far one of the most thrilling tourist spots in all of Las Vegas. It features plenty of adrenaline-boosting attractions like bungee jumping, a spinning ride called Insanity, and a terrifying flat ride called X-Scream. At one point though, this park actually had a roller coaster. This coaster circled the top of the building, and despite it not actually being very fast or exciting, it still gave incredible views of both the Mojave Desert and the Vegas Strip. Still though, after the much more terrifying X-Scream and Insanity were installed, this slow-moving coaster ended up becoming the least popular attraction at the park. The track was taken down in 2006 using plasma cutting to cut it into small enough pieces to take down the elevator. Since then, no roller coasters have been built on the Stratosphere, but with all of the high-intensity thrills it provides, it honestly doesn't need any. Before we get into the number 1 spot, here are a few honorable mentions. First is Magnus Colossus at Spain's Terra Mítica. This is an RCCA coaster like Iron Rattler used to be, and is also built on top of a rock quarry wall. However, it doesn't actually go inside the rock wall, so it didn't quite make the list. Next is another coaster named Cliffhanger, an S&MC coaster located at Colorado's Glenwood Caverns. This ride can be found at 7,160 feet above sea level, and is the highest elevated coaster in North America. Finally is an unnamed coaster at the Maldives Global Amusement Park. This is a powered coaster found on the tiny island of Gui Falu. The manufacturer is unknown, and the only footage of it is a very short clip promoting the park. Since powered coasters and roller coasters are considered to be separate credits, I made this one an honorable mention. Number 1. Reaper Drop Ride to Doom at the Netherlands Amsterdam Dungeon, located in an actual 13th century church. That's right, a real historic church. First opening in 2005, the Amsterdam Dungeon is an interactive tourist attraction owned and operated by Merlin Entertainment. This attraction, built inside an actual historic chapel, gives guests the full dungeon experience, taking them through a torture chamber, a mirror maze, and until recently, a full-fledged roller coaster. This ride once served as the grand finale of the attraction, bringing passengers face to face with the Grim Reaper himself. The ride was one of only 2 mock e-motion coasters ever built, with the other one being the still operating Tuulirekki at Finland's Linnanmäki. This coaster model is similar to a Wild Mouse, but features a spring suspension system on its trains to tilt and sway guests throughout the ride. The experience is meant to give the illusion that passengers are about to be thrown out of the ride vehicles, though none have been built since the one in Amsterdam. Despite its authentic historical location, the ride would end up lasting a little less than a decade. Some say that the ride experience was too short and not very exciting, while others wish they could have gotten a chance to check it out. So if you have taken a ride on this when it was open, feel free to let me know what it was like in the comments. Before I sign off, I'd like to announce the winners of the last weekly polls. In one poll I asked, which insane carnival ride do you want to ride the most? Well, the viewers have spoken, and the winner is the Tagada with 123 votes. Second place was the Mondial Heartbreaker with 119 votes, and third was the Schwarzkopf Sound Factory with 61 votes. Next I asked, which insane carnival ride do you want to ride the least? Once again, the winner was the Tagada. It got 101 votes, putting it in first place. Second place was the Flying Man at the Foire de Trône, and third was the Larson Crazy Train. So thank you all very much for voting in the last 2 polls. And for this week's weekly poll, I'd like to ask, what is the most anticipated roller coaster for 2019 so far? So feel free to head on down to themeparkcrazy.com and cast your vote. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.